Welcome back to Happyish, the podcast where we explore one happiness idea each week. My name's Chris. This is my wife, Sally.
Hi.
We can definitely say my better half. And this time we're talking about money. Does money make you happy? Yeah, well, does money make you happier or not? I think we all think that if we had a bit more money, we would be happier. Yes, of course we would. But would we? So you know about traditional philosophy much more than I do, Sally. So what do the traditional philosophers say about the link between money and happiness, if there is one?
Well, I think one of the things is that material wealth, i.e. money, won't make you happy. Won't make you happy unless you're already happy. It's a means to an end. And we need to remember that so we can have the desire for more money, which is everybody has desire for things. So moving forwards, having more money, that's not a bad thing. But you can't think that it's going to make you happy because if you're already, well, it's not going to do it on its own.
Depends what you do with it.
It depends what you do with it. And you might sacrifice a lot to get the money and then get there and think, oh, actually, I'm still not happy. And that's because
I mean, without naming names, we've got various friends, some of whom are really quite rich and some who aren't. And I would not say there's any correlation between happiness and money in that little sample of people.
No.
And, you know, some of them have got big houses but are constantly having to spend money on the house and worrying about how much it costs and the hassle of it and things. Whereas some of the ones with smaller houses just happily live in their small house and it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, and if you've got a swimming pool, you have to get the automatic cover replaced and then you have to decide whether it's worth running it in the winter, and each little thing brings a whole load of problems with it, and those sound like first world problems.
They
people
certainly
are probably
do.
thinking, oh boo-hoo, your swimming pool, but actually people who've got swimming pools say that they're nothing but trouble.
No.
And that's just one example of how having a lot of money doesn't necessarily make you happy. When you actually get there, you might be disappointed in the destination.
Yes, although you could maybe think that if you've got the right attitude to your swimming pool, then it doesn't matter how much it costs. Whoever we're talking about probably can afford all this stuff. And so it's just extra things that make it possible for you to swim. And so how lucky am I?
A little secret about us for the viewers is that we've got a beach hut. And we haven't got a swimming pool, but we do hire a beach hut from the council.
Right.
And it's become quite expensive recently, hasn't it? But we've thought, well, we're just going to keep having it and getting happiness from it, and we're going to not think about what it's costing. Because if you start thinking about the cost of it, it does make you less happy.
So that shows that the happiness is from us rather than us going, oh, look at us, we've got a beach hut. How clever are we? I'm happy because you're envious that I've got a beach hut.
Yeah.
So it's another example of those, everywhere you go, there you are. So you won't be happy unless you are happy.
So if you're miserable, you'd sit in your beach hut miserable.
Yes.
Or you'd be in your swimming pool going, oh, I've got to go to work tomorrow or whatever. So those material things aren't going to make that much difference overall.
No.
Yeah, well, certainly the research says that. I did a bit of reading up before this because I thought I'd better check I was right. And it was really interesting, actually. First of all, they said, the theory says that as a couple, if your income is more than $75,000,
okay,
what is that, £60,000 or something?
Well, it sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it is quite a lot, but that's between the two of you, remember. So it could be two people earning 30 grand in England. Which is not much more than the average wage, actually.
Okay.
Any more than that, you won't be any happier. So to go from 75 to 100 or 150 or 200 grand will not make you any happier. And I think most people would be really surprised by that and would probably disagree and say it can't be true. Although I've got an explanation I'm going to come to about why that is.
Okay.
But the other thing I found, and I wrote it down here, because they found that your life satisfaction does go up and up and up as you earn more money.
Okay.
Just the, look at me, I'm really pleased with my life, right? But your emotional well-being
Yeah.
doesn't go up. It plateaus out at 75.
Okay.
So there's a difference between life satisfaction
And emotional well-being.
Yeah, which is interesting. So you feel proud of your life, but you also feel dragged down by all the hassle of having to keep 3 cars with their tires pumped up or whatever it is, you know. And what I'm sort of getting to is I think the cost of earning it outweighs the happiness.
That's what I was, you know, making it the end rather than the means.
Yeah.
Making money.
So I think if you buy a bottle of wine that's twice as expensive, it probably will taste a little bit nicer. Or if you live in a car, if you live in a house that's twice as expensive, it will make you a little bit happier to have those extra rooms and things maybe. But the cost of earning twice as much is huge.
Yeah.
You know, the hours you have to put in, the stress, the unpleasant things you probably have to do to earn that money, because it's supply and demand. They won't pay you that money without it being an unpleasant job in some way. And the people I know who are well off do a lot of travel. They work really long hours. They have quite a lot of stress. And I think, you know, the stress that you have to do to earn that money outweighs the slightly nicer wine or the bigger house or the more flashy car or whatever. So I think that's why money doesn't make people happy, because of the price they pay. And, you know, I know a few friends in big houses who were just never there. They're always traveling and away, earning the money to pay for the house that they're never in.
Yeah. Can I disagree with that?
You can try.
I don't know about that doesn't make them happy. Maybe they're never going to be happy, whatever goes on, or they're doing a job that they hate to get them there.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you know, hopefully footballers, for example, love their job, but actually
and they earn loads as well.
They earn loads of money, but actually they'd probably do the job anyway, wouldn't they? They'd still play football even if they weren't being paid.
Yeah, I think I don't want to use the word lucky. I think they are happy, but I think they have a problem when they retire at the age of 33 or whatever. Then they quite often struggle to find a purpose, don't they? Unless they go to coaching or whatever.
But that's kind of different. I'm thinking about whether the money does money make you happy. It only makes you happy if you're already happy.
Yes. Well, one of the things is causation.
Yeah.
So we don't know necessarily that money makes you happy. It could be that happier people earn more money.
Yes,
because they probably
true.
Other people want to be around them. They might be more successful at management or selling or whatever because they're just happy people.
Yeah,
and they're happy because they're in a job that they love, which means they're going to be good at it. So I think there could well be causation arrows from happiness through to making money.
Yeah.
If you can find something that you love doing, you probably will make money doing it.
Yeah.
And I certainly would say, definitely I would say, don't choose a job or a career based on just money. Don't go, well, North Sea oil divers are well paid, I'm going to do that. You know, make sure you like diving before you choose that job. Yeah. And the same for every job. Or, you know, maybe just say accountancy or something. You've heard it's well paid. Well, don't do it unless you love it. And a lot of people do choose their jobs by money, don't they?
Yeah. And then find themselves trapped in a job that they hate.
Yes. Yes,
and
absolutely.
That's not good.
No. So there's that. And so I think, you know, money should definitely be something that follows on from doing what you like. There's also the hedonic treadmill, isn't there? Which is that you get used to wherever you're at.
Yeah.
So when you get your flashy new car, you love it for a couple of weeks. And then within a few weeks, it's just the car and it's got banana skins under the passenger seat and everything. It's just become, and that's how it is. And when you get a pay rise, it's great for a few weeks. And then somehow that money just seems to get soaked up by the fact you're buying slightly more expensive wine or whatever. And it doesn't really make any difference to your life at all, that pay rise. And it just sort of is soaked up and it's gone. And the hedonic treadmill is we get used to where we are and we always want more. And when we get it, we just get used to it. And then we want more, we want more. And so the money that we need to keep the treadmill going doesn't make us happy. And I think that's another reason why money doesn't make people happy. They just get used to where they're at. And they keep looking upwards and wanting to have what other people have got on the level above them financially. Do you think?
Yes. And all those descriptions sound like unhappy people before they've even started. You've got to just be, well, at all those points you can have gratitude and you can share your money. I was reading something the other day
Ooh.
that said the best way to hide your wealth is to share it, which I thought was kind of fun.
Yeah, I saw something about that as well. And they gave somebody the choice of having £20 or giving it away. And the people who gave it away got more happiness than the people who kept it. Especially as, to most of us, £20 it won't make that much difference to our happiness because we'd spend it on something we could probably get anyway. Whereas if you give it to somebody who really needs it, you know you've made a big difference to somebody else. So giving away £20 gave you more happiness than keeping it. Yeah. And even if you were going to give away £1,000, that could really change the life of somebody young. Maybe they're at college or something like that. Whereas to you, it not make that much difference. It's just in your bank account or whatever.
Yeah.
But the other thing they found was that if you gave somebody £20 or whether you gave them £100 made no difference to your happiness.
Oh, okay.
So it's the act of giving it that makes you happy. So if you've got £100 to spare, what you should give is £20 to 5 different people. And then you'd get your maximum happiness out of that £100.
Okay. Yeah.
Which I actually think is brilliant.
It's a great idea.
So you're absolutely right about sharing it rather than just having it.
And also in the context of this podcast, Happyish, happiness is the currency we're talking about.
Yes.
Rather than the physical currency.
Yeah.
And you just won't get happiness from stuff that's outside of you. Well, I suppose you will get, but the currency that you're after is the happiness that's inside you, that you take with you, that you then decide what to do with the money that you're
We've said before that most of your happiness comes from relationships with people rather than material things.
Yeah.
So if you spend the money on taking people out for a meal or doing things with people, going to things with people, whether you pay just your half or whether you pay all of it doesn't really matter. But the point is you're putting the money into having that experience with those people. Yeah. That will make you much happier than buying, the latest fancy handbag or sunglasses or whatever.
Of course, if you disagree with this, you must write in and tell us what you think. Is having that fancy handbag, does that make all the difference?
Yeah, but we do know that spending money on experiences rather than things increases people's happiness, doesn't it?
Very much so.
So I think that's really interesting. I found one other thing that you're going to really like. It was almost a quote, really.
Okay.
Somebody put that having more money does make you a little bit happier, but seeking more money makes you less happy.
Yeah.
So spending your whole life thinking, if only I could earn more, how can I get a pay rise? How can I get more money? That's a road to unhappiness because you'll always be wanting more.
Yeah.
So whether or not actually having it, I actually think even having it doesn't make you happier because of the treadmill and the price you pay. But certainly seeking happiness seeking more money as a route to get more happiness is not a sensible way to go.
No, maybe it's not a way to go for more happiness, but it is a natural thing to want more. We all moving forwards want to improve our career or get some more money for this or do some. So I think there's nothing wrong with seeking it, but there's no point seeking it for more happiness.
Well, you don't want to be obsessed with it and you don't want to let it start influencing your decisions and making you do things. Let's suppose you move to part of the country where you don't really want to live because you can earn more money if you're there.
Yeah.
That's probably a bad idea because you're seeking money as a way to get more happiness and it probably won't give you more happiness. So I think you mustn't let the urge to earn more money influence too many decisions.
Yeah, the money isn't the most important thing in your personal happiness.
Yes.
You can't assume that it will give you more happiness to have more money. You need to look at other things or be happier doing the job which gets you the amount of money that you need or whatever.
I think quite an interesting thing is just to think, what would you do with the money? Because quite often people say, oh, I'd love to win the lottery. And you say, well, what would you do? Well, I'd just be rich, And you say, well,
I wouldn't move from this house because I love my neighbours.
Yeah. Or I'd buy a huge, great house down on sandbanks in Poole or something. But then when you think, well, what would it be like to live there? And you wouldn't have any neighbours. You'd have great big electric gates and you'd just be in your work and maybe you'd be quite lonely.
Yeah.
So if you really think about what would you spend that money on? Or, I'd have a horse. or say, I wouldn't, but somebody might have a horse.
A slightly bizarre thing coming from you.
Well, horses are expensive, but I'd have
Of
a great big
course.
house with a paddock and I'd have horses. But actually, you could probably, if riding horses is what you want to do, and personally I don't, I find them incredibly uncomfortable. I'd rather have a motorbike personally. But if you wanted to have a horse, you could borrow other people's horses and, exercise people's horses for them.
Yeah.
Well, actually, sailing boats are a better example.
Yeah.
If I was rich, I'd have a yacht. But actually, it's much better to go on other people's yachts.
Much better.
And often people are looking for people to help them sail their boat.
Or maybe you could pay for your friend to have a yacht, but then they've always got to take you out whenever you ask them to.
Yeah. Well, you could pay a little bit. You could say, if we go out on your yacht, I'll bring the wine or the food or something like that. So you could contribute. So the point is, there are ways you can get those objectives without having that big wodge of money to buy the yacht or the horse or whatever it is. So I think if people are thinking, oh no, I really want a lot of money, I'd ask them, what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
And well, I'd have a jet ski. Well, you can hire a jet ski once and see if you like it and maybe go every now and then, but you might get bored if you were jet skiing every day. So I'm just thinking, don't assume the money is going to make you happy, but find other ways to do those things without having the big wad of money.
Yeah. Our viewers are going to think we're such jet setters.
What,
talking about
with our jet skis and our horses.
and yachts and horses and big houses.
I've never had a go on a jet ski, although I would quite like a go actually. And I have had a go on a horse and I didn't like it. No. But
much better on a skateboard.
Yeah, no, not that either. So there we are. Money probably won't make you happy. The price of earning it will make you unhappy.
Yeah.
And even if you win the lottery, actually, it still isn't good because you don't feel deep down that you've earned it. And all it does is and in fact, you're not really the kind of person who fits with that sudden amount of money. And then your friends can't cope and you can't cope with the world that it puts you into. And so even winning the lottery has been shown to not make people happy. Actually, most lottery winners are not happy, which is amazing. But, we kind of know it's true, really.
Yeah. I think the point of the conversation is that, the money isn't the source of the happiness.
Yes.
You are the source of the happiness. And so you can be happy with money.
Yes.
It just has to come from you and not from the need to have the money.
Yeah. And what tips would we give people listening to this then? Don't let money distort your decision making in life.
No.
Don't become obsessed with chasing after it. Try to find something that you love and then enough money will follow.
Yeah. Have the courage.
Yeah. Clearly, if you earn less than $75,000, then if you can get a bit more money, it will make you happier.
Yeah. And be grateful
if you're
for
really,
what you've got.
Yeah, if you haven't got enough money to eat or live, then that's a problem. Yeah. But don't strive to go beyond that point where you get diminishing returns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, well, that's a bit of an exploration of money.
Yep.
Should we have a look in the quote container? We should call it something rather the quote vase. The
bowl. It's like a football.
The bowl of wisdom. I will think of a decent name. Oh.
I'm going to have to cheat and look at what
I wouldn't have known this was by him, actually. Count your age by your friends, not years. Count your life by smiles, not tears.
Oh.
And that is John Lennon.
Oh,
It's a bit of a
right.
soppy quote for Mr. Hard-edged John Lennon, isn't it? That's really good.
Is it a line from a song? Is it from one of his songs?
I know. I'm going to have to Google it after this.
Say it again.
Count your age by your friends, not years.
Yeah.
Count your life by smiles, not tears.
Oh,
It's a good quote.
bless him.
John Lennon. We wish he was still around, don't we?
Yeah.
I know we can't end on a sad note.
No, he's...
Got to think of something happy. But his music lives on and it's still brilliant.
It is.
Yeah.
And he did have lots of friends because everybody still remembers him and he was a big person, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
he did have quite a lot of money, but actually I think the Beatles realised that money wasn't making them happy because they went a load of searching.
Didn't they, really?
Yeah, and they went to India and they got into meditation and things. And John Lennon was living a pretty simple life in New York when he was shot, wasn't he? He was living in not an excessive flat. He was just walking to some local shop. And that was the life he chose, when he could have had his own private island or whatever, but he didn't.
No.
So he was actually quite wise.
Yep.
He knew that money wasn't going to make him happy, that happiness would come from other things.
He tried it and was reeling back a bit.
Yeah, most of us don't get a chance to try it and discover, do we? We spend our whole life trying, and we shouldn't.
No.
Right. So there we are.
Thank you very much for listening.
That is money and happiness. And we will see you next week when we will think about something else. In the meantime, pass the message on about this podcast. If you've enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and give us some star ratings. That would be brilliant.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
we'll see you again.
Yes, indeed. Bye for now.
Bye.